So today's session was the first. Last week I didn't really have anything that interesting to put in the vlog. I thought there was a couple of different sections of each training session, but they weren't great. Hamstring is perfect now, thank God. God bless. But the my left knee last week was crippled for some reason. I assume it's because I was putting all the weight on my left leg off the right leg, which was a hamstring problem. So basically, that's the life of being a weightlifter: is you just end up with pains, and then when you get one pain, you end up getting another one. The knee's not so bad now, so I was able to do some clean and jerks. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Anyway, I'll see you in a second. So I hope you can't hear Fitz obnoxiously hammering on the keys here in the background, but we'll try to get on with it and try and enjoy the training footage, even though he's trying to play the guitar as well, which is, he's just so obnoxious. Don't you just hate when you work with people, you know? So today's session was lots of snatch triples, so basically upping the number of sets that I'm doing on the triples. So I'm finished with fives now, so I got up to 120 by 5. I, hopefully not in error, but I accidentally called Gabriel out for a set of 5 by tagging him in a post and calling him out. So basically I said, Gabriel's turn for 120. He said next week, and he recently snatched 160 and he's in great shape, so I may have made a huge mistake. Hopefully not. Hopefully he just does 120, because I do not want to have to go for another set of 5 after 120. I'm pretty happy with that. I've never done a set of 5 120. It's all cool. Like, there's no need to make it a big deal, Gabriel, if you're watching. Don't do 125, because I don't want to do 130. Alright, just equal me 120. You know what you could actually do, if Gabriel, if you're listening, you could just do a set of 6 120, and then everyone's ego is still intact, and we can all still be gentlemen. So today's sets of 3. So sets of 3 all the way up. So last week when I was doing sets of 5 for the heavier sets, I didn't do sets of 5 all the way up because it had been too fatiguing, and the more important aspect of those sessions would have been to do the heaviest set of 5 rather than fatigue myself all the way up. So in the initial weeks, when the weights were very light, so like 90, 100 kilos, 105 or whatever, I would have done smaller jumps like you saw, and I would have done sets of 5 all the way to accrue a lot more volume with those set of 5. With sets of 3, back to 3s all the way up. So trying to accrue a lot of sets of 3 together across different weights. So I'm still getting a lot of volume in, and I'll keep pushing those 3s up a little bit. So today, just on 100 here in this. You can see I'm still jumping back a small bit. It's a minor habit. It actually gets better as the reps go on. Again, that's one of the problems with doing kind of high rep snatches and clean and jerks. You know, you kind of build poor habits at times. Not prolonged habits, but they can become an issue if you aren't paying attention, even when you're trying to finish the sets instead of doing, you know, your reps accordingly and doing them correctly. So 110, it actually gets a little bit better as this session goes on. So I'm just trying to hold in the bottom a little bit. I was thinking of Aaron Kroll when he talks about standing all the way up with all these reps, which is way, way harder than you would think. 110, nice and easy. So then just went straight to 120. This was pretty solid. Again, you can see if you watch, sometimes I cut the extension a little bit short and need backwards to compensate. So what I need to be doing is going straight up, like I keep talking about all the time. So I'm just focusing on pulling the bar straight back off the ground, straight extension, nice and fast though. Pretty happy with the technique overall. So these are solid. Attempting to do full stand-up triples, but they are absolutely not full stand-ups, because in the moment it is not. It's the last thing you want to do. You just want to drop the bar and stand up, or drop the bar and do the next rep even. So 125 next. You can see me warming my hole in front of the heaters. Alright, so 125. These get a little bit ropey. So first one, nice and solid. First time I've been 125 on the bar since I did 155 about 6 weeks ago. Second rep, leaning back a little bit at the top, cutting my leg extension short. And then the third one, it slows down a small bit and a little bit ropier. So not a huge problem, but is the nature of reps. So hopefully it'll get a little bit better as I touch heavier weights again. And hopefully we'll get up to 140 for a set of 3. So last training session, or last kind of cycle, I would have started with 3s and I got up to 130 for a triple. So hopefully I'll get to 135 or 140 for this set of 3s, maybe now or in a few weeks. Last week, so I didn't do any training vlogs last week because there wasn't any particularly interesting sessions. I thought the whole sessions weren't that great. But I managed to somewhat hurt my knee doing some power cleans, which was incredibly annoying, which was the same as my hamstring, but on the opposite leg. So I think I was just putting a lot more pressure on my left leg, especially on heavier squats when I was doing the sets of 10. My own fault as usual, but at least I can admit that. So just back to clean and jerks again. So hamstring is perfect. Knee is a little bit better, but I can still feel it's a little bit achy. So today I was just working up practicing technique. So my big focus on clean and jerks at the moment is to do a lot of volume, but also to practice that backwards movement of the bar off the ground. So the backwards curve of the pull. So a lot of times my cleans would be slightly forward, so I'd pull the bar straight up, as in what ends up happening then is the bar actually loops forward. So I'm really trying to focus on pulling the bar back towards me off the ground. One other thing as well is I'm trying to perfect the start position in the clean. So oftentimes in the clean you're much better off with the bar actually touching your shins. And so you'll see in one of these sets, so I have my pants rolled down and I rolled my pants up, right? It sounds kind of weird, but when the it's kind of like a kinesthetic awareness, I suppose. The bar, the cold bar touching your shins lets me know, so I don't have to physically think about it. I know it's happening when I'm doing it. It's kind of a weird cue, but it worked last night. So I did just a 3 sets of 115 to build a little bit of volume, but they felt a little better as the sets go on. So I decided to go a little bit heavier after this and go up to 135, which is actually, would you believe, is the most I've clean and jerked in, I'd say, at least 6 or 7 weeks, just because at the end of the last training cycle I fucked up my peak. I just pretty much fucked it up is the only way to phrase it. So by the end there was no point trying to retake my clean and jerk gains and forced it for no reason. So basically I just dropped off clean and jerks and focused on my snatch, because I knew I had a big snatch coming, whereas with the clean and jerk I might have equaled or did something slightly better, which may or may not have been to the detriment to my clean and jerk or my snatch at the time. So I just kind of forgot about the clean and jerk, cut my losses, and then moved on to the big snatch. And then I knew I'd be starting a new training cycle very, very shortly after the 155. So, just a little bit of patience and it'll come back eventually. Start of a new training cycles obviously are the best time to address technique issues. So really focusing here in the 125, I was pretty happy with this. Pulling the bar straight back off the ground, pretty solid. Jerk is pretty good as well. On these I actually smashed into the roof on the right hand side because I'm just slightly too close to it. And then on the last one I just loaded up 135 for a single, and I was very, very happy with this. So thanks for watching. There's just 135 after this, and then the last bit is just some first pulls I do off the ground just to reinforce pulling the bar straight back towards me. So it's a good way of practicing. They're not that heavy, so I don't need to finish the reps. I'm not really ingraining any bad habits, so the big focus is just first pull and reinforcing the correct technique. Thanks for watching, guys.